My God, boys. We're back at it. It's a new year. We're kicking 2023 off with a good look at Late Night Green's future. We're back. Fleet Week. Much to discuss. I was going to say expert panel as always, but it feels like we're missing the expert. You've just got a panel here, right?
Well, that's all spiteful.
He's pretty good, man. I mean, you're a nice cash wheeler to his Dex Harwood, and Tope's
I'll take that.
Tope's a pretty good tully, if you ask me.
Okay, we're cooking.
We can work with that.
Without Dax, it is a little bit different, but nonetheless, we do have a panel. You hear them here. Young Dukes, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you, Joe?
Very good, mate. It's a new year. Very exciting time, isn't it, the new year? That time in between Christmas and New Year is like, it's not good. Not good for anyone. We need to move on. We need to get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no better way. People talk about New Year's resolutions, like get healthy, it's like, this stop partying, stop whatever. It's like, no. Our New Year's resolution, very serious AEW wrestling conversational content, right?
Actual.
Yeah. That's serious business, bro. Someone needs to do it. Here we are. Tope Suicida. Speaking of that serious content, Tope Suicida, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm happy two other people share my New Year's resolution. So
yeah. Confirm shooting Oracle. Absolutely. Now, someone out there, and they've not said it yet, but I see all the all-hows in the chat. We appreciate you guys. We hope you're well. We hope you had a wonderful new year. And we appreciate you for joining us here on this. Is it Sunday? What day are we on now? Sunday?
I think it's Sunday.
Yeah. Lose all track of that. It's the other problem with this time. Anyway, a cynic could say, but bing bong, Dukes and Tope were on the Late Night Grin this week. For what reason would I possibly watch them talk about the exact same things on a program called Fleet Week? Right? And I would say, well, that's a pretty good point, in fairness to whoever this mystery man is. But I would say one key thing. We didn't show any vibrator on the flagship. The vibrator is not a paywall exclusive. Far from it.
Mm-mm.
It's out there wild in the open. You know what I mean?
It's for the people.
Yeah. So on this very program, you'll see that vibrator up close and personal with detailed analysis along the way. So let's get into it, boys. We do have a lot to talk about. It was actually genuinely like a big week of AEW TV. And there's been a lot of conversations, kind of big picture ones, which I don't need to do here, of like kind of getting back on track. And it feels like Tony Khan is really focused as a booker. So let's kind of explore Dynamite specifically before we look at the vibrator itself. I think the kind of objective highlight of the show was the Elite Trios match that was absolutely bonkers. They did a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I'm always someone who, like, for me, in my brain, I very much blend, like, no DQ, Falls Count, all that shit to me is like, oh, whatever. You pin a guy at the end of it. Who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
When you treat the Falls Count Anywhere this literally, which upon fault, I should have known they were going to do this because, of course, they would. It has a very different flavor. And I think this was probably my second favorite match of the series just after the first one, which was ridiculous. But this was an absolute thriller. Tope, what did you make of the Elite Trios? Obviously, the result we kind of knew. What did you make of the execution itself?
I love Game 6. I thought that it was a lot of fun. It was my personal favorite so far. I liked this one a little bit more than the first, but that was my second. But yeah, it was like you said, a lot of just with those wrestlers, you're going to get creative uses of that stip. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited for the next one, which I was kind of waning in the middle, but they got me back for the end of the series, which is what they wanted. So
absolutely. Dukes, same for you. What do you think?
I still think the first one's my favorite, but I was there, so nice
flex.
Not to flex or anything. I was chanting fuck CM Punk and everything. We were rocking in there.
That's controversial. I mean, you don't even bring politics up around here, man.
Well, I wore a shirt on like the last show, so it's fine.
You run it down the middle there, Bobby O'Neill. I like to see it.
I play both sides, so no matter what, I win
or lose. Depending on how you look at it.
Well,
No, it was spectacular. Like, I think there's been a lot of conversation about this series that we've had some fun on our platform. Well, we haven't, but a certain controversial figure has got quite mad on multiple occasions. I have to be honest, I think they've done a spectacular job. Each match, other than maybe the fifth one, was probably, I'm trying to think, what was the one that was a little bit less, fourth one, right? Fourth one. There was a bit more understated.
That was the one with the ankle spot.
Yes. that was the only one that, while it was good, didn't work in a vacuum. It was clearly a setup for the next block.
I think they needed that though.
Yeah, I would agree completely. But it says a lot that the other 6 matches have worked. But you could just watch those and have a great time. Like they're so exciting. The way they put their stuff together. As much as I love him, the ongoing thrill of just watching Penta like try to fit in these matches is always funny.
Yes.
Him just sort of walking around and throwing kicks and slapping his fire. And then every once in a while he does something awesome. Like he's Penta, man. There's no one like him. It's been a great time. My question would be, Dukes, are you more or less interested in like making this a thing AEW does like once a year after seeing this? Like, do you want to see more of this best of 7 thing as a sort of annual concept? Or are you just like, this was great with these 6 guys, that's fine for me?
I think if it calls for it, maybe not once a year, because if it's an annual thing and you know it's going to happen, I think it's better if you get caught off guard by the announcement of it. And I think next time maybe I'd like to see it in like a singles feud instead of trios.
And maybe the steps could be kind of penciled in before we, that kind of deal. That makes sense. So, but where do you stand on that as like the concept moving forward?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it annually, like have it like set in the calendar or whatever. But if it calls for it, I agree that a singles would probably be fresher than doing another best of 7 tag. I also probably wouldn't do 7 again. Like if I'm running a series, I'd probably like stop at 5.
Yeah,
but
5 is good.
It obviously depends on who's wrestling, because like Danielson versus half the roster, you tell me best of 7, like
Tony Nese.
I said half.
We're cooking. Long Island Tony.
He's fair. He did say half. That's fair. I was also intrigued by like the concept of doing a series. If you just take these 6 guys, for example, you wouldn't do it with these 6 because you just did the 7 series. But it's like a gimmick where you do a series, but you're matching up 1-on-1. And it's like that element of like who you putting forward. Like fucking Pac steps forward, and you go, shit, we need Kenny to come in here, and that's like the big like that. I was trying to figure this out the other day, and I kind of forgot about it and just brought it up here on the air without any idea. But there's something to be said for that. The one that came to mind for that was the Elite versus House of Black. Because while the trios match is great, the actual appeal there to me is like all of the weird like combo matches,
singles matches.
Yeah. So I guess mostly with Kenny, but you get what I'm saying. Like it's just, I don't know. I think there's some different things to play around with. I like challenging the guys in this way. I don't think it's necessarily the best play when you have this many wrestlers on the roster that they have.
Yeah.
But for this, for these guys in particular, the crowd likes seeing it, and I think it's been an objective hit. Overall, I've really liked the matches, so I have no complaints. Final question on this: who's winning, Dukes?
The Elite.
Well, very confident there. Tope, do you agree?
Every time you've asked, I've said Death Triangle, and I've been wrong every single time you've asked. So Death Triangle in 7.
I like that you said all that and you said so. I'm going to continue to be stubborn. I like that. The question really is: are the Elite? Are they going to be that on the nose with the comeback from 3-1 thing, or is
absolutely,
yeah?
Or is the bit that they want you to think they'll be that on the nose, only to not be on the nose after all and actually lose?
I think it's both.
Both?
Yeah, I think it's a bit within a bit.
We got to go to 8.
Yeah. Cuts to like fucking JR in a pre-tape yelling about how LeBron doesn't never draw a game, Even
my
LeBron
dad just figured out the LeBron thing on Wednesday. He texted me. He was like, "Wait, Game 7's in LA. LeBron plays in LA," and I was like, "Yep."
You know he's gonna be there, right?
I hope so.
You're gonna fucking tombstone pole driver Rick Knox. I've heard. That's the rumor. Shout out to him. All right, did you that video of him playing Madden? That was actually funny. Like legit.
I don't think so.
It was really, really good. He was getting heat for playing Madden on New Year's Eve. Like a little kid. Tremendous stuff. All right, let's move forward here. Speaking of winners, that was not a LeBron reference. That was a it was a LeBron reference. Who else was on that team that we like? No.
The Lakers?
No, the 3-1 Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Next option, not
Love.
really.
Kevin Love. Yeah, Love.
Kevin. Speaking
Thompson.
of winners, like Kevin Love.
Factual.
Like Tristan Thompson.
Ron Shumpert. Yeah.
Yes. He was good.
Anyway,
We'll get back. Samoa Joe, the king of television.
Factual.
The undisputed, also self-proclaimed king of television. Make it make sense, Excalibur, please. He defeated Wardlow. They did a deal early in the show where he attacked him with a lead pipe. He definitely hit him on the leg, didn't hit the floor. I don't know what people were talking about that. Then they said, Max, there was some feeling, I certainly had it, that someone was going to take Wardlow's place and we were going to have like one of those magical moments in their hand. Instead, Wardlow battled through it. He got in there. And I thought Joe did a really good job spotlighting Wardlow. It wasn't like a classic match. I wasn't trying to have a classic match, but I thought it was a very effective way to close out the TV. Tope, what did you make of the Dynamite main event?
I thought it was fun. I was like you. Once I saw the angle, I thought it was actually going to be Adam Cole.
Bye.
Coming the baby man.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
But for what it was, like Wardlow, like sold pretty well the injury. Like there were a couple spots that like I think he may have forgot to keep selling. Yeah. But for the most part, it worked. I mean, it's Samoa Joe, so like it's almost guaranteed to be an awesome match as long as like he's into it, and it seemed like he was. So
yeah, he definitely feels, to me anyway, as the platform's perennial Samoa Joe expert, I guess. He seems to be as into this as he's been into anything for like, I'd say at least 6 years would be my just sort of rough estimate. I mean, he clearly wanted, like, you know, he was going over here and Wardlow is still an important piece for them, whether we pop about it or not. Like, he is. And I think it was very obvious that Joe wanted to make him look good along the way, and the leg thing protected him, but so did the match itself. He looked good in the match. Like, he fucking fired up. He had some awesome moves. Joe didn't do any of his signature stuff to kind of spotlight him in that way. In the meantime, as Young Dukes, we wait for his return to the program. Brent, our friend Brent, has resubscribed. Been with us now for 7 months. Says, Happy New Year's, fellas. Thank you so much, Brent. We appreciate you. We love you. Pop very much for the Grinny spot at the what show was that? Final Battle, right? Final Battle. That was a cool deal. So shout out to you, Brent. We appreciate you. We love you. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit later about the Samoa Joe Darby Allin match with South next week, and whether or not we may get a TNT title change next week. We did not get one this week. Dukes, what did you think of the Dynamite main event?
I liked it. I thought it was more of like a story-based match, and they weren't trying to go for anything crazy. But I actually thought Wardlow was going to win after the angle.
Me too.
But I'm very happy with where it went.
Yeah, I actually think it could have backfired if he'd have instead of done the angle and then he won, it could have been like dangerously Ramon Reigns, you know what I'm talking about, you know, back in the day. Could have been dangerous. We will discuss Joe's next match later in the show, as I said, but a fun TV main event for sure. Joe is he's got some momentum right now. Speaking of momentum, Top Flight have really, over the last 3 weeks, been elevated by this, I think it's 2 weeks, by this thing of Claudio and Moxley. They had this killer tag match. I mean, Claudio Castagnoli with one of his best performances thus far in AEW, and that's saying so because he's been great the whole time, because of course he has been, but he's like a perfect match for these guys, right? Because they just fly. He just push them. They just go sailing through this. It's an incredible deal. And the Blackpool Combat Club were a little vicious here too. Dukes, what did you think of this? What felt like a big moment for Top Flight, even in defeat?
Yeah, ever since Final Battle, they had that killer match on the pre-show with the Kingdom, who are famously bad wrestlers. They've been rocking, and yeah, Claudio's he's absurd.
Yeah. Do you remember when the Kingdom came in and everyone like violently shit themselves and got really mad?
I'm cool with the Kingdom. I just don't think Matt Taven should main event a Rampage. But
no, I'm fine. I understand what you're saying. That was like one of those great things that, like 2 months later, you look back on it, like that was a thing that dominated the discourse for a day. You know? Yeah. Are they on Dark?
I don't think so.
I guess they're just waiting for Ring of Honor. Could be my only assumption.
They're waiting for Adam Cole.
Bye. 2 Adam Cole references. Good lord, guys. It's bringing in 2023 a little bit stiff here. This is a little much.
Good wrestler.
I've heard that. Tope, what did you think of the tag match on Dynamite?
I thought it ruled. I mean, like Duke said, Top Flight had that great match on Final Battle. They've kind of just been getting booked more. They're finally at least seemingly healthy and like staying consistently like working and everything, which they haven't really had together so far for an extended stretch. So I love the match. I mean, you look at the 4 wrestlers,
it's one of those, like, it speaks for itself, the match graphic, right? I got you.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of actually circle back. You both brought up Ring of Honor. That was something I wanted to talk about. If you look at the AEW tag title, kind of the projected lineage, I don't think Top Flight are going to get them for a little bit. You know, maybe not a long time. It could come around quick. I mean, it came around quick for the Acclaimed, a lot quicker than I thought it would. So it could happen soon, but it feels like we're headed towards FTR again. And then, you know, we'll kind of reset. But I assume they'll do it as babyfaces. If they do it as heels, Top Flight is in play. But if we assume it as babyfaces, how do you guys feel about it? And I'm really torn on this myself, so I'm intrigued where you stand. I don't want Top Flight to be hidden on Honor Club, but I do want them to work like a 3-match program with the Briscoes, and that to be like a route we take for them is to win some gold.
They're going to get their ass kicked.
Right, but like I kind of think that's good.
In a good way.
Yeah, because it will give them like an edge and a kind of roughness that I think will help them. Obviously, they can do the athletic stuff easily. And to be clear, Darius especially has like really sound fundamentals as is. It's just, it feels like a really fun way to kind of develop those guys, elevate them along the way. The problem is you're taking them off TV, in theory anyway. Dukes, how do you feel about that as a pitch?
I like it. I mean, the whole like going on Ring of Honor thing could actually help, because if they're gone for a little bit, you know, what is it? Absence makes the heart grow fonder or whatever. Yeah. They come back, big pop. Good work.
Do you agree they need a new theme, or is it just me?
I kind of like it. It's
funny.
Tope, please tell me I'm not.
It's kind of funny. The way it starts is funny.
I probably don't dislike it as much as you do, Joe, but I'm definitely not with Dukes on this.
It pops me.
Oh, I ain't going on that anymore. Tope, what do you think of them in Ring of Honor potentially?
I agree. I think it's that would be a fun route for them to take. I mean, they would have like what the estimations are like 1 million Honor Club subs, something in that range. I've heard.
Yeah, I think 2 million now. After Final Battle got good reviews in the Observer.
Oh, okay. So I think it'll. I don't know. They're definitely a team that is gonna be in the promotion for a while, it seems. So while there's no real rush, you also can't let them fade into the background and become nothing, because then that's all they're gonna be viewed as.
I also think there's an argument that like the tag division isn't strong enough to just lose Top Flight. So, you know, they can give you some really good TV matches. So it's kind of a challenge. That's going to be a thing with a lot of the Ring of Honor stuff, if we're being honest. Like it's going to come up a lot, and it'll be interesting how they kind of get around that. But yeah, we'll see how Top Flight goes. The other thing to look for of Top Flight is the trios with AR Fox. I mean, they won the Battle Royal. So based on early projections, I feel like Tony wants to use AR Fox. So they may be like a real trio that, you know, is pushed and featured and stuff. So we shall see. We'll talk more about AR Fox very shortly, looking ahead to next week. All Ego Ethan Page had his strongest singles match that didn't involve a coffin this week in AEW, as he faced famously mediocre star, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. If I was going to be an asshole, which I'm not, I would say, well, of course he had his best match against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. That's what everyone does. However, considering the fact that I spent most of the last year saying that Ethan Page is good to a loud chorus of boos, I will instead just say, validated, I won in the end. Tope, please congratulate me.
You may want to shoot it over to Dukes first.
Dukes, please, can you explain why I'm correct on this matter? I feel this really proved it beyond doubt. I mean, yeah, Danielson's pretty good little hand, but come on.
Ethan Page is good. A lot of people don't like him. But it's Bryan Danielson, man. Could have a good match with me.
Well, I'd like to see that before we just, you know.
It'd be very funny, yeah.
I think it's there, boys. I'm not saying, look, let me be clear. I'm not saying he's like a top 5 guy. I'm not saying he's a main event. I'm not saying that. But I think he's really useful. Tope, what's your beef?
Oh, I actually like I'm not an Ethan hater. I just kind of find him a little boring in the ring, but like that's just like I understand that's like that's the reaction to that take. But like it's
very fair take. It's been a take for like 10 years, bro. You're fine. I'm in the minority in this one. Don't worry about it. Most people would agree with you, I'm sure. Good finish. Good finish, yeah. The Ego's Edge.
I mean, it used to have a better name, but
yeah. I was about to say that it would be cool to using the video game, and then I realized there's absolutely no chance in that video game because he's one of the wrestlers I like. So, Brent lashing out. Is this a Brent bit or is this a sincere lash out?
Brent doesn't do bits.
I think it's sincere. Yeah, he's anti-bit.
Yeah,
he's famously anti-bit
yeah.
and anti-Brit.
Well, I don't blame him for that. Well, I think this is fair. The key is, to me, he's missing something for the next level, but I like him in this slot here. They may have gone a little bit, he may have overstepped his boundary a little bit, but like genuinely, all bits aside, Brent, you'll like this bit because there's no bits here. I think, there's obviously a reason that many people I respect don't think the information is very good. I'm not pretending that they're sort of oblivious to some genius secret. I just think he's a useful kind of role player for this roster, and I do like the fact that he's like an actual heel. I think that's certainly said for that. I like the match a lot. Where are we at? A couple of weeks ago, you fellas were all in. You said, that's it. I don't care what Brian's been doing, what he hasn't been doing. I'm ready to see him fight MJF. Are we ready to get to the match? Are we ready to get to the match at Revolution? Are we waiting to, February? Like when? Give me a timeline. Are you guys at the point where you want to just see the match? Or do you feel like the build's just getting started, Dukes? What do you reckon?
I kind of feel like we're just kicking into it.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't even been a one-on-one promo yet, which MJF likes to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that's what we're going to get on Wednesday. Because I originally thought the first match, I thought it was going to be 2 matches. I thought the first match would happen Wednesday.
Me too.
And then again at Revolution. But I think we're going to have a situation like, remember when Punk wrestled QT Marshall? Everyone was like, why the fuck is Punk wrestling QT? Yeah. And then they had the big promo. I think that's what we're getting.
On Wednesday?
I think so.
To be fair, though, you were pretty close with that match on Wednesday, I vividly remember you saying it would either be MJF or Tony Nese.
Tony Nese, famous Long Islander.
I've heard that about him. Tope, where do you stand on this? Are you ready to get to the damn match, or are you wanting 15 straight talking segments like Dukes does?
I'm excited to get to the. I'm excited to get to the match. I've liked the build so far. I forget who it was. There was a Discord pitch where contractually obligated, basically he's forced to be there, and then Danielson comes out and he's like, "Oh, when was the last time you defended the belt?" or something to that effect. And then it's like an impromptu guy. Max cheats to win that. Bam, Revolution. But I understand that that's just me fantasy booking, and so.
Did you just make Tony Nese the world champion? Dude, is that what he just did?
Yes.
Good Lord, man. Are you okay over there?
There is no shot that is what I fantasy booked.
That's what he said. Sean Dean came up too.
I heard he's from Long Island.
Sean Dean? No.
Tony
Nese is
the captain.
Yes.
No,
the captain is Sean Dean.
From Long Island.
Does he even watch the shows, Dukes?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It's so embarrassing. We're on the air.
JJ's fucking comments. All right. Let's talk about we got the tag team, the all-star team, Ruby Soho, Willow Nightingale here in action. They lost to the JAS combination, Ty Mello and Anna JAS. Something's up. There's trouble in Gotham City, Tope. I don't know what you saw, but I'm mad about it. I'm heated about it. I don't feel good about it. It makes me uncomfortable. But I think that the destination unknown is about to be hardly her destination is a quick impromptu heel turn.
She was very rude.
She was mean, right?
I didn't enjoy that.
Me neither.
Willow's nice. I like Willow.
They should be friends.
Be nice to Willow.
I don't want them to fight. Yeah,
I saw Ruby and Eddie. They're nice.
Yes.
I think this should be. I think Ruby should just do the Eddie Kingston thing where she gets really mad.
Yeah.
And just beats the shit out of people. But Willow's the one that can calm her down.
That worked well for Eddie. That was a good angle they did. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's probably some fault internally that Ruby has kind of wrestled everyone she can wrestle as a babyface, and you could try and see what she has as a heel. But it feels like they never really did the babyface run, right? She was always on the edge of it. Yeah. I'm not sure. We'll see where it looks like. It may be something she wants to do, to be clear. I don't know. Always good to see Willow
that means
on
it's
TV.
a good idea.
That
means it's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely true. It's fast proven. Yeah, I will always be kind of baffled by the Owen. That always fascinating. Like it felt so obvious she was going to win.
I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see if they actually do the turn, or we were just kind of overstating things. But what do we think they're going with this program? Like, is Ruby and Ty going to be like? Are they going to have a blow off deal? Or what's what we thinking on that front, Dukes?
Manny wants him to have a dog collar match.
I have no comment on this.
No comment.
Hey, listen, it could kind of rock. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I don't trust his intentions.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking like that.
He's an unsavory character.
I like professional wrestling. He's a
Yeah, fair. I think I was wondering if they're going to do like a sequel to the famous Ty J. They will. Dukes is confirming it here on the air. Is that a scoop, Dukes? Or?
Yeah.
It is. The Street Fight. Okay, there you go, folks. There is. Tope, are you in for a sequel to the famed Street Fight from last December, I believe?
Yeah, I'm pumped now.
Yeah, it could be fun.
You're welcome.
It's good to see Ty wrestling. I didn't think this tag match was like anything crazy good, but it was fun. One of the highlights of the show, which we'll close before we do Vibrator, which I'm sure this ranks highly on that illustrious scale, the Hook W. Morrissey head-to-head. I mean, you talk about some real grabs. Paul Heyman would have been proud of this angle here. The visual of those two head-to-head and the way the people came up when Hook got a hold of him. I mean, that was great stuff. The idea of securing the big dub to do this particular thing, or Big Bill, whatever we're calling him now, is very funny, which makes it better, which is like a layer to the good. Tope, what are your thoughts on the latest chapter in this Jungle Hook business?
Oh, it's amazing. It rules. Jungle Hook is a combination that like I would never have, like, just looking at the roster, I would never have been like Jungle Boy and Hook would make an awesome like pairing. But then seeing it makes all the sense in the world. Two very vibe centric wrestlers. So big ups.
Is that like a widely accepted term what you just used there? Vibe centric.
Sure.
I don't know. Like, I mean, is that like, if, for example, say you're reading the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which I know you both do, front to back.
Yep.
If Dave was telling you about like a new, luchador that Tony Khan signed, and he said, this guy's really vibe centric. Would that stand out to you? Or would you be like, Dave he knows ball, he knows what he's talking about? Like,
he knows ball.
Dave's
it would be a little surprising coming from Dave, but the term itself is very,
Okay.
It's
all right, press for it. All right. Try and use that one moving forward when we talk about knowing people's games and stuff. It's good stuff. All right. Dukes, what do you think on this? Are you excited for this tag match? It feels like something that's kind of creepily becoming one of the more over things on the whole show, which is not a knock on the show. It's just like there's some money here. There's something magical with this thing.
When Hook hits Big Bill with that suplex, puts him in the red rum, brother. Oh man, we're off to the fucking races.
The Kata Hajime.
Yeah, that's good shit. I don't know what Bill does after that. Don't really bother me. That's something I have to concern myself with.
You can just, come out with the guns. I don't know.
Bro, are the guns still in the firm?
I think so.
They
say it sometimes.
That should be the media call question.
That would be. Could you imagine? So it's actually like straight up, it's just like, look, man, I need to update who is and isn't in the firm. This is important to me. Are the guns in there? But the mistake would be they'd probably say, are the gun club in there? And Tony would say, the gun club ceased to exist 6 months ago when Billy turned on the guns and joined the Acclaims, becoming officially Daddy Arse, would be what they would say.
Yes.
So whoever asks it, to be clear, you do have to say the guns because Tony will catch you on that. Don't let him catch you. Don't let him get the easy way out. You need to find out. Chat, does anyone know officially? Has anyone asked Tony in the DMs? Has anyone seen anything on Dark and or Elevation that has confirmed or denied the status of the guns? Before we move on, I meant to bring something about Ruby Soho. Dukes, did you know that you were brought up by Bob in his 31 closing monologue? Because I thought it was disgusting what he said. He made a reference to you. Yeah. Honestly, it had some disgraceful connotations. I wasn't happy with it.
No.
It wasn't my choice, man. Yeah, it wasn't my choice. Lucky you. Awful times. So Dynamite was very good. I know you haven't ranked or anything, but what do you think, Tope? Would you say this is off the top of your head, just kind of rough assessment? Where does this, is this a top 10 Dynamite? Yeah, some people, Shu and I were a little bit bullish. We were saying this is one of the best Dynamites they've ever done. What do you think? Was that a little crazy? We may have got a bit crazy. Smojo was on that show. Seventh, specific. Now, Dukes, you had it fourth, right?
I don't do numbers, really. It's not really my thing. Not my vibe.
Can you rank vibes, though?
Next question.
You can feel vibes.
Right, but so when we did the vibrator in a minute, which we're about to do, folks, bear with us. At the end, there will clearly be some segments that have high vibes and some that have lower vibes. So isn't the one with the higher vibe ranked higher?
It's more of like a tier list than a defined, 1, 2, 3 type thing.
It's an expression of our view of the show.
So
it's art.
If we were to do, if the tiers were top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20, which one of those tiers would this Dynamite go in, Dukes?
Top 10, probably. It's definitely one of the most consistently good Dynamites. There was not really any low spots in it, which I thought was, it's rare, especially in the second hour.
Yeah. What is the actual best Dynamite ever, Dukes?
Don't do that to me.
No, in all seriousness, I put this on the screen because Nivme's absolutely right. Every few weeks, I'm like, that's probably the best Dynamite ever.
Yeah.
How is every episode of Dynamite the best episode ever? Right?
Can I say the best Dynamite ever so you guys don't feel like dicks saying it first and then I say it? Because it's the Brody Lee show.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Factual.
Yeah, you're probably right. That does feel weird. I get what you're saying. But that was
like I can't say that after you guys are bringing it up serious.
Absolutely. My God. This Demon Grin's very cheerful. They says hopeful new year, nerds. Let's fucking go, late night grin.
Woo.
That sort of positivity isn't allowed around here, man. You take it easy.
Too happy.
We're talking about vibes. You just take it
relax.
Easy. All right. Okay. Thank you, Demon Grin. I hope you're well. Okay. It's time for the vibrator here. One of the biggest segments. I had yet to have a video to play before it, so instead I'll play this because this is the most sort of, it makes you want to fucking hit someone. Here we go. There it is, folks. It's the main event. All right. Hour 1, the vibrator. There are many segments you can see here, folks. Now, before we even get into it, what was the discussion? What was the conversation? What was the reasoning behind so many mini segments? Or is it just one of those things we should let it play out and it will make sense as we go? What do you think, boys?
I think each segment in the first hour kind of not each one, but a lot of them had like specific pieces to it that popped us individually.
Yeah, the first 3 are all like the first 10 minutes of the show. So
actual.
I can see that. Okay, so we start with good vibes. It says Dragon Time Baby. Is that something you say audibly, fellas, or is that just kind of a thing that you say amongst yourselves?
That's a Tope thing.
I say that out loud, yes.
Now, do you say that when the music hits or throughout the match, do you kind of at regular intervals just to reiterate, do you kind of repeat it?
When the music hits, it's American Dragon Time Baby, and then I chant Dragon Time Baby during the match. Okay.
That's very patriotic of you. I didn't know you was into that kind of thing. All right.
Nope. Don't go there.
Up next, Dukes has Love of Life stolen by MJF. Again, Dukes, this is news to me that happened previously. Explain.
No comment.
Tope, explain.
Young Dukes may have had a crush on a young artist.
Listen, crush is a strong word. All right.
Once upon a time.
Is it an accurate word as well as being strong, or just strong?
Next question.
So I have to ask, because look, it is what it is. God bless you, young Dukes, but it feels somewhat sinister that brings in somewhere in between a pop and good vibes. I mean, if the young man is getting owned in that way, surely it should fall down to at least pop, but bad.
That's more so just a title.
Well,
it's more just a title for the segment because the actual thing that happened was very funny.
Fair. That's fair.
It's a bit.
I was gonna say it was impeccable vibes for me and probably pretty bad for him.
That's not true. I dispute that.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll leave that there. It seems to be somewhat heated. Danielson and Ethan. Fact, I've been saying that for the last 37 minutes. Danielson and Ethan do the graps. This goes up some, but not much. It just a little bit up from Dukes having the love of his life stolen, which again feels interesting to me. I'm intrigued by the fact that Bryan Danielson's music and Tope saying to himself, "Dragon Time, baby," while American flags fly behind him, gets a better rating than the actual wrestling match itself. Is that? Am I weird for thinking that's bad, guys? I feel like you may have failed. Like you let yourselves down a little bit there.
No, you're weird.
True.
Was the oh fuck! I can't ask star ratings for you guys. I don't know, man. That was a good match. I feel like you
Tope
guys
was lower on it. He doesn't like Ethan Page.
I heard that about him. Yeah. Why do you hate Ethan Page, Tope?
Go back about 17 minutes.
No, but that was before we saw the Vibrate. You said, "Oh, I like him," but didn't he, Dukes? Remember?
He did.
He said he's kind of boring in the ring, and now you're giving him the shits here on this race. He's terrible. Look at this rating you give him.
He's in Pop's good vibes. He's doing good for himself.
I know Chris wanted it to be impeccable, so you guys must have really failed here.
He actually didn't comment on it.
Fair. Smart man. All right, we have the Samoa Joe bit here up next. This is the aforementioned lead pipe shot to the floor. We have a visual aid. Tope, please explain.
The film I, Tonya, starring Margot Robbie. I was during the commercial break, I photoshopped Samoa Joe's face on it after he hit Wardlow with the pipe like Tonya Harding.
Now, how much of that Photoshop pop elevates this to the rating it has, or is it because it was so funny that it has that rating? Like, which one, or both?
Probably like half.
Yeah, both. Dukes, is that fair with you?
Yeah, both.
Hangman, this is a big promo segment here. It stays steady. I know you're a big fan, Young Dukes. This shit's really rocking right now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, oh man, I can't even explain it. That LA show is gonna be fucking crazy. You
sound like an animal then, man.
I get, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Don't worry about it.
I get really fired up.
Take it easy, man. Take it easy.
I can't help it.
We stay high up here, above good vibes for the aforementioned Blackpool Combat Club top flight match. Then we do plummet some. We still are on pops, but it is a pretty sizable fall as we reach the weekly Kip Sabian affair. This time out, he was doing something or another with the best friends. He was quoting, I can't remember what, he quoted something. Penelope Ford was there, as were the best friends. The conclusion was a Trent and Orange match we'll get to. Boys, this Kip Sabian business not doing it for you either.
No, the bit's over.
Yeah. Where's Reese stand on this at this point?
Okay, this is actually a big scoop.
Reese
said he needs a big performance at Battle of the Belts, or it's over. How
did Reese handle Kip Sabian for the worst Superman punch in the history of televised wrestling?
Oh, he was hysterical laughing. We heard his reaction live in the voice chat because he was watching.
I've never seen
Rampage later.
Bro, I couldn't believe how bad that was. Could you? It was unbelievable.
It was fucking awful.
It had to have been performance art. Had to have been. This is important. This is important, Doc, because what you're saying here is good. Yes, Tony ran it in would be good. You have to remember that he has already done that, and in fact, Kip has used to have a box. This is the filtered. This is the true. This is the premium version. Man. This is with Tony's eyes looking over the thing. Imagine what the original plan was with him in the talking box. Anyway, the chairman's intent. That is literally just Hook's entrance, correct?
Yes.
Fair. Resurrected the show. We then have.
Go ahead.
No, I'm going to leave that one. Let us figure yourself.
No.
We then have Jack's entrance. Then we have Jungle Hook involved in this, so I assume that just means the idea of them both being on screen at the same time, correct?
Yeah, big 2x4 action.
Yeah, that's true.
Popped me huge.
I appreciate, boys, you didn't split those two. You know, that'd have been excessive.
Yes.
Okay. We're doing well here. That was an impeccable vibes. The first of the show. Big moment there. The 2x4 action that Duke's mentioned. And then the show informs viewers via video. My argument, this should be impeccable vibes just for the fact that it wasn't a live promo segment. Your fault.
That's fair, but it was a little long.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
He was waffling about for a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I can see why I didn't drop below this. 3-person segment of Wheeler and Renee.
Those are the only people that were there.
Okay, seriously. Did you not guys think it was weird that like Wheeler just involved himself in this and was like, "You piece of shit"? But where did that come from? Was I supposed to know?
I kind of respect it.
But
he said that segment last week sucked. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Do you not kind of think he was the dick here though?
Oh, he was.
Yeah, but Swerve does like the evil laugh.
He does, yes. And he wears like 4 jackets too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mogul.
This brings us back here comfortably above good. So a really strong first half there. So was, I mean, only real lull was young Kip and whatever he was doing. Okay. That works for me. We move on to a much more infrequent hour 2 here. We start top of the board. AEW Backstage Assault is where we start. Impeccable vibes. This feeds over into the match itself. I guess it was all the match itself. You get what I mean? The part where, it was in the ring and such. There was never any doubt about this, right? No debate when it comes to the elite Death Triangle business. Fair to say. No.
It was fucking awesome. And then Kenny got the pin on the outside, and Taz said, Kenny pinned Rey Fenix unbeknownst to Pac in the ring. And my dad texted me in all caps, unbeknownst.
Well, that fucking rules. We fall somewhat to good vibes. I'm actually surprised this didn't do better because I sometimes think these are like very bad, but this one popped me because there was some actual good lines in this one. Obviously, relative. Still good vibes though for the Acclaimed. The titling of this is controversial. I bet Keith Lee called this Acclaimed vid fire.
Well, true.
Tope, explain yourself.
It speaks for itself. Come on.
Dukes, did you co-sign that titling? Because that feels aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not wrong. I don't feel like we had to say it.
Yeah.
Because the rap was actually pretty good this week.
Yeah.
And he was fucking cooking Jay Lethal.
Oh my god. The one about 20-year veteran no one imitates you was good. That was a good one. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I thought it was honestly good TV. Keith Lee last week had a cinder block fucking double foot stomp for his chest. So I know you could have let him off this, but it's fine. We do unfortunately fall away a little bit here in between Pop and the Pops and Mid. The dreaded Mid returned for Ty J fight. Not a fan, lads. It's okay, but it was not great this week, unfortunately, was it?
It was good. The people involved actually did very well in the match. I thought Anna Jay was actually not bad in this match.
Yeah.
Relative to prior performances. But the thing that kind of dropped it for me was the finish. It was a little.
It was sloppy, I agree. I think Anna Jay's been better in the last couple, actually, to be fair. But, you guys
the last couple might be a little generous.
Ricky interview brings us back, but not too high. Is this a momentum situation here? Tope, Ricky's promo usually I would expect to go higher, but here he's coming up from in the mid range. He's got to do some work. Fair to say.
Yeah, like if there's a good vibe segment, impeccable vibe segment before him, he's clearly in the good vibes.
Yeah.
But it's the momentum, it's pretty powerful here.
I understand, very much so. The King of TV defeats War Fraud fairly.
Factual.
Which, the Wardlow bit I'll leave for the flagship because we got enough out of that, I feel, for this last couple of weeks. We go up again here, good vibes, and we close with an impeccable vibe to end the year of Dynamite. Sesame Daddy Sam Joe. TNT back.
Factual.
Yep.
That maybe kind of speaks for itself. Where did you guys stand on Wardlow's hair?
Oh my God, JJ just fucking cooked him in the chat.
More like Lord Loss.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He's pretty good, you know. He should have a gig where like he can be kind of witty and do puns and stuff on like a big wrestling platform, you know what I mean? Where he could like put out, you know, stuff on their behalf. That'd be good. Anyway, TNT title's back. We're gonna get into it. But yeah, where did you stand, Tope, on Wardlow's hair?
Is the plan for him not to shave it? Is he actually sticking with that?
I think he's just gonna be Bill Goldberg, and they're gonna be a tag team. They're gonna wrestle FTR.
Now
I mean, yeah. You got
see. Now it's good that Chris isn't here.
Yeah, factual.
Yeah, now
Chris, we love you, but when that happens, please don't tell us it's bad. It will not be. It'll be very good. All right, let's move on to Rampage here briefly. Trent had a very strong match again. Orange Cassidy doesn't let them down when they give him some TV time. I'm not saying he should have more because it's hard, right? But when he's on TV, Trent always kills it. It seems like his time as a best friend may be winding down. Now, the big thing for me is they're light on heel teams. And I was trying to think, I was talking to Matty about this. I was trying to think, like, who could he be with? My fear is he's going to be with Kip Sabian. I'm going to just get that out of the way now, and that's a real thing that may happen. We will see what that looks like. I don't know how I feel about it. Well, I do actually, but I'm going to pull that. Is there a good tag partner we can have for Trent, boys? Is there anything we can kind of chat? I want you to throw on this too, including Sasha Banks. Is there someone who can we?
Miro,
yeah, I don't think he's going to accept that, but that would be fun. I'd like to see Miro back in general, to be honest with you.
Lance Archer.
And that's interesting. It's a weird vibe, fair to say. But that would... I don't know. That's not a bad idea because I've always wanted Lance to have a tag team. That's pretty good. Could be interesting. I want something for... Yeah, Rocky Romero would be nice indeed. I was trying to think of something for Trent because I don't... Look, as much as I like the guy, I don't think as a singles there's too much more you can give him. But if he's, in a heel team, they could be one of the top teams just by his work alone. But nonetheless, him and Orange is good. Duke, how do you feel about the All-Atlantic title run of Orange Cassidy thus far?
I think it's been very good. I like Orange Cassidy, contrary to a certain Hooper on this platform.
Yeah.
I think he's very good.
Absolutely. Tope, where do you stand on the All-Atlantic title run thus far?
One of the coolest T-shirts AEW has put out, like one of their like generally like only really good T-shirts. Title reign, fun. Orange Cassidy, fun. we're rolling,
bro. They kill it with that shit, man. They actually they really do a good job of Orange and stuff. I assume he must have a lot of control over it, right? He must.
I would assume so.
Yeah, he does a hell of a job. Bam has resubscribed. Been with us for 5 months now. Thank you very much, Bam. We appreciate it. One of the great supporters of both this platform as well as the famed Wrestle Purist, which is run by a piece of shit who's my friend Montgomery. Dukes, have you spoke to Monty recently? Because
I don't associate with him.
Oh, fair enough. You fellas did get some media ballots, though, I'm told.
Factual. I cried that night.
Yeah, it was a big moment for you, right?
Yeah. I've been fighting for that spot.
Yeah,
constantly ignored.
That big ball we're talking about, man. You were scrapping. Quick thing here: Kiera Hogan had her best performance in AEW by like miles, and that's not me saying she's been bad previously, but she's not. I mean, she's looked somewhat shaky at to me in AEW. She hasn't got in a rhythm at all. I thought she was really good against Jade. Tope, what did you think of the TBS title match?
I did not. I saw like 5 minutes of Rampage, so I didn't watch this week.
I bet this is when he was partying on New Year's Eve, Dukes. I bet it was. What did you think, Dukes?
I thought this match was actually good. There seems to be a trend with Jade Cargill matches that they are better when she just goes to the outside and beats the shit out of the opponent for a little bit.
Okay.
Good rule of thumb there. I like that a lot.
They're better when she does that.
Oh, you're right.
The Marina Shafir match.
No comment.
That match was. Hang on. That match was good.
Yeah. Swerve and Wheeler Yuta. Was this match good, Dukes?
Yes, this match was very good.
This was the 5 minutes I saw.
It was good. It was a good match. I liked it. So whoever's here, I'm not gonna. The mogul thing is, we'll see. I'm not gonna, it's tough. Next week, Samoa Joe, Darby Allin 2. We're in Seattle. This is a very exciting one. After the big time promo we got from Sting, which was probably the highlight of Rampage, and it was a nice show, but that was an unbelievable segment. Is Darby getting this belt back? Very intriguing. Tope, what do you think?
Yep, it's gonna main the show.
Feels like it's the main event right now, right? We could be kind of taking for granted the idea that Ricky and Jericho, I guess, could close. But right now, I'm seeing the show go off the air with like a big triumphant Darby Allin celebration. You seeing the same thing, Dukes?
Yes. I think Darby Allin will win the TNT title. I think Wardlow's going to go away for a little bit.
Yeah.
Rehab the character, maybe grow his hair back out, or just go bald. I don't know. But I think Revolution, we get Darby Allin and Will Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs?
That
Big Willie?
Powerhouse.
Willie?
Yeah. A real wrestler.
Yeah, I think the same. It's really, I would love to know what's gone on with this decision. Like, if this was the idea all along, which I highly doubt.
No way.
Because if Joe loses on Wednesday, I think it's somewhat fair to assume that he was supposed to drop it to Wardlow last week, and there was a switch made there. If so, I think it was the right switch. To be clear, I'm not. I think that's good decision making. I think this much goes without saying. If Joe wins here, you probably need to actually develop Darby's character some, because his bit a couple months ago or a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was I've been dealing with all this whole shit and now I want to focus on the thing that matters to me, which is that's perfect. But if he falls short after the big segment on Friday, you need to figure out whatever his next chapter is. In some ways, you have to figure it out regardless, but I think we're all down for another TNT title run from Darby because of what he did last time with the belt. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited for the match. The atmosphere should be great for this. So a big one to kick off 2023. Speaking of such, I just mentioned it, Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. Dukes, give me out of 10. Oh, you don't know numbers. In terms of vibes, how excited are you?
Somewhere between good and impeccable.
Wow, that's pretty good, man.
Mm-hmm. The promos, Ricky Starks is fucking awesome. I actually think he's a good wrestler. Contrary to the same Hooper I was talking about before.
Fucking Oracle.
Yeah. Wow.
Tope, where does this one come in on the projected vibrate?
It's probably between pops and good vibes for me.
Yeah, me too. I think Duke's getting a little bit carried away again, so to be honest, but he's young, right? He's young. Fair enough. Who's winning that match, boys?
Ricky Starks.
Ricky.
I think Jericho knows, because I think the promo was the Ricky Starks experiment thing. I think he knows about the long programs. I think he knows. Which is either going to mean it's quick or it's going to mean it's longer.
No, I think you're right, but I think he wins here and then loses at Revolution. And It's a shorter program, but yeah. I will say, having Ricky and Darby win against two stars of Joe and Jericho's caliber on the first show of the year with a new set and a new visual, that's something said for that. And obviously, another young lion will win on Wednesday as Tony Nese topples Bryan Danielson.
Finally.
Projected vibrator, Dukes. Tony Nese and Bryan Danielson. Impeccable.
Factual.
Was you not even mad when they announced this? Did you know any
not at all. I think Tony Nese is good.
No, I do too. I actually have no issue, but people got pretty mad.
At first, I was like, Bryan's a fucking monster. He needs to be stopped. And then I thought about the match, and I was like, okay, we're rocking.
The match is going to be awesome. I honestly believe that, but he is also a monster that needs to be stopped.
Factual, yes. Two things can be true.
Tope is a fellow monster that needs to be stopped. Are you excited for this match?
Pretty excited, yeah. I have a question for you, though. Do you think this match or the Ethan match will be better?
This match.
Oh, you fucking got him.
This match.
Okay.
I actually, no, I'll be fair. Hold on. Go back to the Fleet Week when Ethan lost. There was a TV match he lost. And I said, Tope Suicida, that in AEW, with their in-ring oriented product, you could argue Tony Nese is more valuable than All Ego, Ethan Page. So I actually was just proving myself correct. If it's better and if it's worse, I still win because, as my young friend taught me, play both sides and you always win.
I was just going to say.
Yeah. No, I think the match will be really good. I think also one of the things that will help it will be the reason it's niche is they probably have about 10 minutes. There's 6 matches booked for Wednesday. It's probably 10 to 12, and it will probably just be boom. It'll be going. Rather, the even match was more of a slow burn in that way. Who do we think is the first entrance of the show in Seattle? I think Brian, personally.
Yes.
Brian or Jericho, we might guess. Jeff Jarrett is challenging for the World's Tag Team titles of the world. How long does it take him to win them, Dukes?
Well, you see, the thing is, he would win if he was wrestling with Satnam Singh, but he's not. He made the wrong call. I expect him to do better next time, but I think he kind of cornered himself with this one.
Bro, how good, genuinely, how funny. I know you didn't see it, Toby, because you're a fake fan, but that promo segment when like Leaf was doing his shitty flair thing and Jeff's standing like this, and he's doing that heel thing where he rubs his hands together, and he's got like baby oil on. But he's got the vest too, and the vest is way tight, right? So he's looking all jacked and shit, and he's got the hat on, and the hair's flowing, and he's like this. And then he looks at the camera and does just like a generic heel promo, and I was, God, this is amazing. And I agree with him. Karen Jarrett should absolutely be there on Wednesday.
Oh my God.
100% should be there. I actually think this is going to be a hoot, genuinely. Like, I've enjoyed all of this stuff. I know people get mad, but I actually like it. Like, not even ironically, I think it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. I just have a bit,
Yeah, you're doing bits. Tope, are you still doing bits, or do you think it sucks?
Yeah, we have bits to uphold here.
Fair. All right. That brings the end of our conversation. We just quickly to do this. Dukes, did you hear about Hikaru Shida and Jamie Hale?
I did. I actually saw it too. I didn't just hear about it.
I listened to the radio broadcast. What did you think?
I watch the show actually every week. It was that match was fucking incredible. It's I think Jamie said it in her promo on Rampage, which we didn't talk about, the actual main event of Rampage. She said she's setting the standard for this whole run. I'm very fired up for whatever comes next in terms of singles matches. That match was crazy.
Yeah. Tope, did you like that match, or did you? I know you don't like a lot of things on AEW shows.
That ended up being my 4th favorite match of the year. I really loved that match.
What was 1, 2, and 3?
Anarchy was 1, Dog Collar was 2, Double Dog Collar, and I think I did Hell in a Cell, Cody Seth.
Okay, what was 5?
Bootlicker.
I want to say that was Handman Danielson.
6?
I think it was the trios tag.
All right, I'm just playing face. If you want to see a more comprehensive list, go to our friend at Contrarian Alex on Twitter, who did his top 10 matches of 2021 yesterday. I don't really know why he did that, but I appreciate it as a bit. So go check that out immediately. Who's next for Jamie? This answers before we go. Dukes, what do you reckon?
I actually don't know. My thought is Saraya, but I feel like if they get to England and Jamie still has the belt, that's kind of what you should do there.
Yeah. For sure.
Maybe Tony again?
I don't
know if I want to beat Tony again.
The problem is the Mercedes thing is going to have like fallout. So, or the Monet Banks thing is going to have fallout. So,
Monet Banks.
Yeah. What do you prefer, Mercedes Monet? What do you prefer?
Mercedes Monet.
Mercedes
Monet Banks is fucking awful.
It's an insane name, right? That's what I was imagining. I was like,
there's no first name.
Yeah. Look, bro, I could be completely wrong about this. I will be shocked. Look, I've been wrong before, right? Is what it is. I'll be shocked if it's not Mercedes Monet,
I think it's fair.
Monet Banks, Sasha Banks. I'll be stunned based on my very, very limited knowledge of the situation. Now, there are people who talk to me very regularly who think I'm fucking insane for that stance. But that's where I'm at. I'm very, very certain it's her. If it's not her, you'll see my reaction to it on the air, which will probably be howling with laughter because that'd be very funny, objectively speaking. The fact they're doing a segment this week in which they're going to try to learn more about who it is. Bro, if it ain't her, then it just say who the fuck it is on Wednesday. They would be nuts to roll with that. Like, I think by Wednesday night, it will be very clear who it is, and they'll make it obvious who it's going to be because by Wednesday night, she will have appeared somewhere else on a show that Dukes and I will be watching live on the air together with Contrarian Alex, Confirmed Shoot, and Manny the Hooper. we call that a plug in the business. All right. Before we get out of here, quick announcement. The Fleet 50 is happening again. I'm aware I haven't talked about it all. The reason that is I'm trying to do 2 award gimmicks at once, and that's driving me nuts as it is. So basically, you can start sending them. I'm just not going to promote it until I have all of that shit behind me, and we'll probably do the show in February. So joeholbert05@gmail.com is the email. Just send them all there. I'll get to them, but I'll promote it more, seriously. Dukes, what is your Fleet 50? Go ahead. Yeah, that's good. Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. All right, Tope, any plugs or promotions?
No, not really. Watch Fleet Week. Follow me, I guess. That's it.
Like just physically follow you?
Well, I'd probably
Where
not.
are you got to be specific with these things, man. I mean, come on, got to be careful. Anyway, Dukes, what about you? Plugs, promotions, any final thoughts?
Don't follow me.
Well,
physically or on Twitter?
Both.
Fair.
Right, follow.
Sperm stance. Right, there you go, folks. Don't follow either of these fellas. No, Tope did want him to follow. On Twitter.
Not physically.
At AEW Tope Suicida, right, Tope?
Yes.
Yes. Factual. Send donations to Tope to get a neck cam in 23. A net cam is elite, JJ speak. All right. Also, I do want to mention the actual headline on Wednesday night. What happens? Samoa Joe and Darby Allin can have a 5-star match on Wednesday, and when you log on twitter.com on Wednesday night, the only thing you'll see discussed is it. And you just know that is going to be like a thing, right?
Oh.
It could look any which way. It could have whatever colors you want. It will have an incredible reaction regardless. So we'll follow up on that next week with our takes. Folks, we hope you've enjoyed this. I'll be back tomorrow over on Wrestle Purist with the worldwide program featuring Montgomery and Manning. We will probably talk about the Noah show that took place this morning, featuring WWF superstar Shinsuke Nakamura and Kenta. There's just 2 wrestlers that count on mine, but there's other wrestlers on it. It was actually an 11-match show. I was going to do a grin along for it, and I saw it was 11 matches, and he fell out my chair. So it was very good, though. So we'll get to that tomorrow over on Wrestle Purist. Tuesday, we're doing Fed Dead Redemption because Bob said, and I quote, it's a big time for WWE, which I think means he has been told Alexa Bliss to win the world title tomorrow. So, scoop. And then Wednesday, there'll be no Dynamite Grin Along. It'll be back the week after, but I'm still not doing it this Wednesday because we're going to watch it with, well, I can't talk about it, but Bruce Pritchard. He doesn't watch the show. I'm just kidding. He's actually, well, I don't want to get into it, but, I have a few Comrade and, what I'm talking about, right, Dukes? It's a little, I don't want to, but Comrade sometimes likes to just watch the game tape with me. And we kind of compare notes and we look at who we can sign. And I'm saying too much, far too much. But basically, just keep your eye on the NWA in 2023. So no Dynamite Grin Along on Wednesday. Thursday, there'll be the flagship with that shit. You'll know about that by the time we get there. It's fucking Sunday. All right. We appreciate you guys. I want to just close with this. Please donate to Tope for the net cam. We're rooting for you, brother. All right? Hang in there. Here is to a Grinfield 2023. I'll see you tomorrow over on the Wrestle Purist gimmick. But in the meantime, enjoy this outro. All out.